Hello, Schmoville. Well, we're back again. It's the podcast channel. You guys are here visiting. Chances are that you clicked on this link because you said, oh my God, who is that on the thumbnail? That would be one Cerina Vincent, actress who was in the movie Cabin Fever. She's also in Not Another Teen Movie. She's been in a bunch of stuff. I've known her for a very long time. And so she came on the show to talk about horror films. And like I said, Phase 2 guests just kept getting better. And Jeremy Jahns was here again to co-host. It was a lot of fun. We talked about horror movies, favorite moments, that type of stuff. And it's even hearing this back, it's funny because I stay silent for a while because I'm waiting to pick my spots, because you may or may not know my stance on horror films, but I let it be known in this show. And Mark obviously is a big fan of horror movies, as is Jeremy and Cerina. So it was fun to watch the back and forth and all the different perspectives for what movies people picked and characters. And Cerina's always a fun guest. It was really cool, and Jeremy and Cerina had a good back and forth at times. So it's a good listen. If you haven't checked it out, you should. And again, make sure you subscribe. This is episode 16. We got a lot to go. I mean, we're only in the beginning of phase 2. Catherine Reitman hasn't even joined the show yet at this point. So keep on listening to the History of the Schmoes Know podcast. Phase 5 coming soon. We'll make some announcements very soon.
All right, guys, we are back on the Schmoes Know podcast. I am Christian Harloff.
And you're getting a little radio voice there, my friend.
I am coming to you from the Schmoes Know podcast.
Hello, traffic and sports 5 past the hour here on the Christian and Mark Show.
We have as many guests as possible for you guys coming today. Zip.
And that's enough. This is the Schmoes Know podcast. That's Christian. I'm Mark, regulating. And we do a podcast. We talk about fun stuff. What do we got today, buddy?
There's a lot of movie stuff, as Schmoes Know movies in title should give you some indication of what we're going to be talking about. We have 2 guests today co-hosting with us, who's been here the last episode and is back again. We were very happy to have him. Jeremy Jahns. What's up, Jeremy?
I'm doing very well. I can't do radio voice right now. My voice is very raspy, and it sucks. I would love to, though.
That's right. You're sounding like Rorschach from Watchmen.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We have precious few quips.
Smoke, it's bad for you.
Exactly. But to Jeremy's left and to my right is the very lovely, a woman that I've known for a very long time, film star. She is Cerina Vincent, and also a best-selling author. Hello, Cerina. How are you?
Hi, Christian. I can't do radio voice either.
See?
Too many martinis.
Yeah, well, that works. That works.
It's a special kind of talent to talk like this, let me tell you.
Now, Cerina's here today to talk about stuff that I'm not very, like, Jeremy and Mark are big fans of this particular genre.
We got your back.
Yeah, well, and to me, I am. I've never been a huge the horror guy, but I know there are a lot of great ones out there. I'm not the guy who has the best knowledge of horror, but these 2 characters do, and I know Ms. Vincent is very well versed in the horror genre as well.
And he claims that he's not scared of horror movies. That's let's get that on the table right now, guy.
I'm not.
All right.
I will tell you though too. Like, I enjoy good ones, and I'll tell you. And I'm not just saying because you're here. Cabin Fever is a very good horror film, which we'll talk about as well.
Starring Cerina Vincent.
Yes, as Eli Roth's film, and I think that there's certain movies that when they're done right, they're good films. Like, I even thought Orphan was okay, and I thought I was going to be piss on a platter.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty.
Yeah. I love the horror genre because it's just fun. It's a lot of fun to watch other people, go through an experience like that. It's not fun to watch people suffer. I'm not even a big fan of the Saw movies and just straight up torture movies. I'm not big into, but I love a good horror villain. When I was a kid, I loved Freddy Krueger and Jason and all that stuff. I'll even give the Leprechaun a couple views. I love that stuff.
Well, that's something that Cerina, how did you get? What was your first horror film that you did?
The first horror film that I did, I'm not going to say.
Oh, okay.
It's really bad.
Okay.
Well, that means we want to hear.
All right. Instead of saying the title, though, how about when you did it, getting introduced into it?
Yeah. Well, let's see. I guess we should start. I wasn't a huge horror fan growing up because I was too scared. I went to this slumber party when I was 10. 8, 9, 10, something around that age, and they played all the Poltergeist movies.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah.
good classic right there.
Yeah.
To a bunch of little girls. That was just so dumb. It turned me off.
So you wouldn't want to watch anything
I
scary.
was petrified. I didn't sleep for literally a really long time.
Yeah, Poltergeist is a scary movie
It's
anyway. And if
creepy.
you're a little girl, it's basically you're watching
And then they
yourself.
tell you, then they tell you, that little girl died. And it's just all crazy.
Yeah.
So it kind of turned me off. But I was a huge fan of things like Jaws, was like my all-time favorite movie. I've seen it probably 100,000 times.
Mark Ellis just fell in love.
That's
Yeah,
remarkably.
yeah.
That's a frightening movie, though.
Jaws?
It is, yeah.
I don't. Yeah, it is. Like I don't really. Yeah, but
I don't consider Jaws is a scary movie. Like the shark is terrifying,
but it's considered horror. I totally interrupted you.
It's in the horror section.
Yeah.
But I think Jaws goes above and beyond.
But can I? Nah,
It
but wait a
does.
minute. But wait a minute.
Yes.
It is, and that's the thing. And then you say, "Oh, you scared of horror movies? Scared of horror movies?" No, because I love Jaws. It's a great film. I just think that a lot of times it falls into. Sometimes they just go for the scare tactics.
It gets
and-
cheap.
Or gratuitous and like stupid. Yeah.
and then you get Jaws 3.
right.
Jaws 3D. Let's set the title right if we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. So, and by the way, Cerina, whatever
Yeah.
horror movie you talk about, you're not the only one on this podcast that has made a bad horror movie. So,
Okay, cool.
Please look up the trailer, Little Fucker. Please look it up.
I did a movie called. We'll talk about
Jeremy
it.
and I might review the trailer.
That's
Yeah, we
awesome.
probably have to now.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's no Cabin Fever. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
So the first time you're working on a horror film, so what's going through your head? Is it fun? Is it, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, I think the difference between working on a horror movie and then working on like a drama or a comedy or on TV is there is a different element of fun to it, and it's a different kind of acting. Because that there are not really monsters in real life.
Well, don't tell that to Harlow. Yeah.
There are sharks, though.
Yeah.
I'm
There
just
are
leveling with
sharks.
people.
There are sharks, but they're not monsters,
And they tend to
so-
not be under your bed.
Right. So it's like, when you have to be running through the woods and like give that look to the camera of like,
was very good.
Thank you. Of, the monster running after you and you're petrified. Like it's a kind of a false sort of acting, whereas when you're doing a comedy, you can like banter off of each other, or a drama, you can like really go there and feel it. I feel like it's a different kind of acting, but if you're on a good horror movie, like we'll take Cabin Fever, for example, it was so much fun every single day.
right.
It was so much fun. But I think that starts at the top. Like Eli is a fabulous director, and he brings a fabulous energy to set with him every day. So it just lifts everything up,
And Cabin Fever, now, the villain in Cabin Fever, is that, correct me if I'm wrong, that's like just crazy people.
The flesh-eating virus
Yeah,
is the villain.
Yeah. And it turns people insane, kind of. So it's not necessarily
They basically kind of, it makes you like rip yourself, like she like just like her legs are falling
Yeah.
apart, and so it's a really nasty movie.
That's
and,
sexy.
You really look.
You like
Serena,
the girl who can shave your legs off?
Yeah, you really look good for someone that went through that. So you really patched up nicely.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that must have been a cool experience. Like, did you guys know kind of what was, that was going to get it got a lot of word of mouth, and it became like
No,
kind of
but when we were working on it, I totally didn't let you finish that question.
No,
Okay.
please.
Interrupt us,
Mark
please.
cuts me off all the time.
Eli used to come in the morning when we get to set, and he'd be like, this is going to change your life, right? This is going to be a huge hit. And he would say all these things, and this was his first movie. So, and we were all kind of like, yeah.
So he didn't have a lot of confidence. is what
Whatever.
you're saying.
Right. Yeah, no confidence at all.
And Eli Roth went on to do Hostel, right? And he did, and he was obviously
He was the bear Jew.
he was the bear Jew
Yeah.
in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, he's doing all sorts of great things.
So Cerina Vincent is kind of responsible for launching Eli Roth's career.
That's
is
right.
what
I
we'll
do
say.
have to say, Jordan Ladd and I talked, because he played the character Grimm in the movie.
In Cabin Fever,
Cabin
he was
Fever,
at. Yeah.
and we talked him into playing it.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
So
Don't be modest.
I'm not.
changing lives.
You come on the Schmoes podcast to brag. That's what we do here.
So, but yeah, it was. So to answer the question, like he would say that, but doesn't register. And you don't ever, some movies are successful and some aren't, and some jobs you love and some you hate. And we happened to all get along really well, and it was so much fun to make. And then it got a ton of buzz, and pretty much saved Lionsgate. I remember some people from like the top at Lionsgate were saying we couldn't pay our electricity bills, and then we bought that movie. Changed the whole company.
They were actually working out of a cabin in the woods. When it was made.
And it was awesome.
Well, speaking about people that you hate that you work with, Mark, do you?
That's not nice.
If you were going to talk about as far as like your favorite type of genre, like the horror film,
Yeah.
Like, do you like ghost movies the best? Do you like monster movies?
Well, you know what's funny about horror movies is you talk about like what genre you like, but you're really talking about what scares you the most. What movie keeps you up at night? And the movies that I cannot sleep after watching are there's a lot. I think it tends to be the more psychological ones where The Exorcist is I think The Exorcist is the greatest horror movie of all time. So when you ask that question later in the podcast, that's going to be my answer.
Right.
But it's those kind of movies where you see like a chilling image. Like there is nothing scarier than me, honestly. Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Okay, there's this creepy nun in it.
Is that the Dream Warriors?
That's the Dream Warriors, not the Dream Master. They weren't a master.
That's my favorite one, actually. Well, minus the first one, but like when they're in the hospital and I really like that movie.
Yeah, and all these kids are seeing Freddy Krueger, and this doctor, he's wondering what's going on with all these kids, and he actually keeps having this vision of this nun that's just staring at him from afar, and it ends up at the end of the movie, it's Freddy Krueger's mom. It's the ghost of Freddy Krueger's mom,
right.
And she's kind of steering him away. And just if I think about that nun before I go to sleep, I'm not going to sleep that night. I'm up and I'm watching Family Guy.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Jeremy? Is it ghosts? Is it monsters? What is it?
It's not monsters. Ghosts really intrigue me. I don't know why. I watch when I was little. I used to watch that show Sightings. It was on like every Friday night. It scared the living shit out of me. Yeah, it freaked me out. And I would say like a good alien movie done well. Like for some odd reasons, there's a scene in Signs where it's like like your guys' old camera, and then you see this alien walk between. It walks in between this alley and it freezes, and I was like, that's the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
The South American birthday party, and that's why I still think every time I see the name Shyamalan attached to a movie that's coming out, I believe
he can do it again,
because that could have gone so bad so easily if you just see this stupid alien walk across a kid's birthday party. But in that movie, it's so scary. I saw that movie at night with my brother, and we left the theater and we parked way out in the back of the parking lot, and there's like a wooded area, and we're like walking to the car like, I really hope there's not an alien.
Like things like
like there be an alien.
Exactly, like real things. Like I remember seeing Training Day, and I was like, that's a scary ass movie because that shit happens. Right, but I like viruses, which is the funny thing about Cabin Fever.
I like viruses.
Well, I don't like viruses.
Anybody's going to be around tonight.
I would love to be on a speed date with Jeremy Jahns. My name's Jeremy. I'm intrigued by ghosts.
Ghosts, viruses, aliens. Shyamalan could have been good. Sharks are actually real. Monsters are not. They're not under your bed. Sharks might be if you have a Shark Tank.
And no, I will not review Smurfs.
And I will not review Smurfs ever. Right. Like that movie Contagion coming out. Right. I want to see it because Outbreak was awesome. It's things like that where I'm like, the world's gonna end.
Right. And there's also you get a good movie attached to it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's solid. And I think that was the one thing that Scream actually really got right was that it made
the fourth one.
Not the fourth one. Yeah. There was, if you look at horror movies in the 80s, it was like Freddy, Jason, all those things, and then it got like into all right, they're not supernatural anymore, they're real people who kill people, and then it got into Saw, and now people get tortured, and I'll level with you, I like Jigsaw as a villain.
I've never seen one of them.
Jigsaw as a villain he's a really smart guy, and I like that because he has brains, and he's like, all right, I'm going to test your then it got like out of control, but for the first three he was actually in it more. Well, spoilers.
So Cerina, just as a fan, not as like a horror movie actress or a film actress, what scares you? Like when you're watching a movie, what terrifies you the most?
The same what you were saying, like anything spiritual, ghosts, like it's like I want to watch it, but I don't. As a person, I do believe that there's like another dimension that we can't see, feel, touch in life.
Trust me, I drank a lot last night. I almost got to that dimension.
And so anything that like Exorcist, like I love it and it's a great movie, but those are the kinds of things that I'm not going to watch at night alone.
Right. Yeah, but yet you can't turn. If I hear that Exorcist music, the scariest part of the Exorcist to me is too. It's not when she's like levitating or the head spins and all that throwing up pea soup.
Yeah.
It's two scenes. It's when she turns into Father Maron's mom for a minute, sitting on the bed, and it's just this like so innocent looking woman, and it's just building. And then at the end when they flash like that picture
face
of the devil, it looks like Darth Maul. It looks like Darth Maul's grandpa.
Yeah, it looks like Phantom of the Opera meets Darth Maul. You ever watch Ghost Hunters and things like that?
I do. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I'll be. I
like it. I'm into it. But I couldn't do it. Like I don't think I could be a part of.
I need
this.
To do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah. Actually, okay. And if we can take this tour, if we can go down this route, if we can tap this vein for a minute,
look at you.
This capillary.
Look at you.
Have you ever had like a paranormal experience, Cerina? Like, have you ever seen a ghost, or maybe like? Because women or men are different with this. Like, I think a guy needs to actually see something come at him. Women can be like, oh, I definitely felt a presence in the room, and I don't really buy it. Like, have you ever had any...
When I was little, like, weird things would happen.
This is what I'm talking about.
We need to hear this.
All three of us went,
It doesn't involve, like, a creepy uncle at camp, right? We're talking... Okay.
No creepy. I don't have any creepy uncles. It's really great.
I do. I got creepy uncle.
Jeremy's got enough for everybody.
I got creepy uncle.
yeah, he's Far Cry. He's on the board right now.
I mean, I can't even really put it into words or explain it, but I just remember this one time as a kid, I was sleeping, and then I just woke up. My door was open, and everything was dark, and I just saw this little light, like, flash by, and, like, I got this weird feeling. I can't even put it into words.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I could have been dreaming, you know. Something weird else happened. I don't know. I believe in, like, sometimes things happen, but they're not necessarily bad.
Yeah.
You know?
I think
they're,
sometimes
like, beautiful signs.
I think the universe will deal stuff to you that you can handle. Like, I've never actually seen a ghost or, like, had a paranormal experience, but I go up at the Comedy Store all the time, and that is, like, one of the most haunted places in the country. And all my friends, a good friend of ours, Freddie Lockhart, a comic, actually saw a chair lift up in the main room and turn itself over and levitate. And you believe stuff like that because there's so many stories.
Yeah. Well, you know, I just did this movie. It's called Monica, and it's with Stephen R. Monroe.
Is that the action film?
Yeah, it's really
It looks
cool.
cool, yeah.
Action film called Monica.
You can go onto
lead. It's
Dread
like The
Central
Crow.
right now and watch the trailer. It's really cool, and I'm platinum blonde. Steven made me. Speaking of horror, he just did the big I Spit on Your Grave remake.
Oh, okay,
cool.
Yeah.
And you can. The
So-
trailer's on YouTube.
The trailer is on Dread Central. If you go to Dread Central,
Okay,
you
cool.
can watch it there right now.
I believe the little fucker trailer is not on Dread.
Yeah, Steven made me go platinum for it, and so now I'm kind of trying to go back to brown, but my hair's like, fuck you. I'm going to be green for a little while.
Is your natural hair color brown?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Anyway, so wait. Okay, back to.
I just
so
needed
we're
that for my
shooting-
personal files.
It's your personal file, yeah. Anyway,
You threw her off.
so okay, so have you heard of Linda Vista Hospital here in LA? Or ever shot there?
Yeah.
So it's apparently supposed to be haunted, and I had never shot there ever, and I always, heard stories from people and lighting guys saying how creepy it is and how they get like these weird feelings when they have to go up into the halls and run cable and things. And so we shot most of Monica in Vegas, and then we came back and we shot a lot of the interior scenes here in LA. And so we had a day at Linda Vista Hospital, and
so creepy. Anytime it's like an abandoned kind of hospital feel.
And I didn't, I was having a weird morning.
The mental hospital,
just
right?
in life.
Yeah.
It might have been. I think it was. Yeah. So I was having just a weird morning, but whatever. I didn't think anything of it. And I go to set, and I'm in hair and makeup, and I'm fine. And then they took us from our stages in a van to Linda Vista Hospital. So I'm we have Frappuccino. I don't drink Frappuccinos. That's a lie. But so I had my coffee. Other people had Frappuccinos. So we walk into the hospital, and I don't even know what happened, but I just completely lost my shit.
Really?
Wait, you just got scared, or
I couldn't stop crying.
Wow.
And I am not one of those crazy emotional women that can't get my stuff together and
That's what they all say.
No, I'm really not, and I didn't know what was happening, and we were shooting an emotional scene that morning, so everybody thought that I was just in character.
She's a great actress.
Yeah, that I just came in crying because I had to cry all day, but I was I couldn't keep, I couldn't control. It was weird.
In real
I was
life,
going through
it was
something personal, anyway. So I don't know what it was.
What if a crying, screaming patient jumped into your body?
But the DP came up to me and said, I feel like you're channeling something right now. And then I started crying even harder.
That's the support you need right there.
Really weird feeling. And then weird things started happening. Out of the blue, a light just fell, smashed, broke.
Wow.
It was a weird morning.
Yeah, I'm that kind of guy where I'm so psychological like that. If you tell me that a place is haunted, then I get really nervous going. We shot Little Fucker in an abandoned Pasadena Ware at a haunted place, and so late at night I wouldn't go venture out too far just because I'm a pussy, I guess.
Yeah.
But it really freaks me out.
Yeah.
See, I don't know necessarily if I've had one of those moments to where I'm awake and figuring something out. But something happened to me when I was sleeping. So I don't know.
How old were you? Set the stage.
24.
Okay.
Were you intoxicated?
I was younger than that. I was probably 21, 22. But
yeah, you're 24 now. So
listen to me. So basically, it was right after 9/11, and a buddy of mine, unfortunately, was in one of the towers. He didn't make it out. So what happened was, after it happened, I was kind of broken up about it, and I went to sleep one night, and I remember walking on this place, Bell Boulevard. It was the place back where I lived, and I'm walking there, and he was with me, and when I was with him, we were having this like normal conversation, and we're like back and forth, and then at the very end of it, he said to me, he goes, I'm dead, right? And I looked up, and I was like, yeah, I know, and then I woke up.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like one of those things to where it's like you have to think that it's a dream, but you still go, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's some crazy stuff, Jeremy. You ever have like a?
No, but for some odd reason, I
like how everybody's answer is like no, but.
Yeah, well, I know because that's the thing about this. If anyone was like, "Yep," and I'm permanently damaged, I mean that's what it would be. So the fact that we're all like, let's talk about it.
I'm possessed right now.
Yeah, that's why I sound like Rorschach. Yeah, but I like to believe in that kind of stuff. But I invite the universe to bring it to me to see it. Like I remember I was at this one girl's house and I was like talking with her family and whatnot. They're like, yeah, the basement's actually haunted. They were like ghost white. Like they have stories about how they woke up and this wraith was above them. Like,
oh my god.
And so I
did you stop dating this girl?
No, I wasn't dating her. I was just
not after that.
Yeah. I was that's a good thing. Like you keep it like let's go meet the family. All right, hauntings. Well, technically we're not dating, so peace. No paperwork.
Yeah, but that's what always surprised me about people like the Amityville family. It's like is upstate New York property that good?
Yeah,
like you're gonna just like there's a haunted house. The walls are bleeding. Let's just ride this out.
Yeah.
Like they were all like the basement's haunted. Don't go down there. The cat freaks out. The dog freaks out. I was like, I'll go down there, and I went down there and I looked around and I was like, no. But they were all like, I can't believe this dipshit actually went down there. Like they were looking at me like I was the craziest person ever. Like I slapped Charles Manson in the face and said, I dare ya. You know what I mean? And so I'm always one of those people. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go head first into a haunted place. And my friends remember the MTV show Fear?
Yeah.
They were like, dude, like back when it was on, they're like, we need to get you on there. I was like, oh yeah, I'll totally do it. Although I never ever as a kid got the urge. I never got the guts to do the Bloody Mary thing in the mirror. I could never do it.
I did it once.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
you have more guts than me.
And did you ever play Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board?
Oh yeah,
you did.
I heard
Katie,
what is this?
Katie, our skilled technician, apparently has played Light as a Feather.
Scared out of her mind right now. She doesn't want to do it.
What's Light as a Feather, Stiff?
Well, you know what's cool about Bloody Mary and that stuff is that is the premise of the new Paranormal Activity 3.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, they have more guts than me. I couldn't do it.
I never did it. Yeah, I wouldn't
do it. This is
do
where
it.
you shut the bathroom door and look in the mirror.
Yeah,
and
you turn the lights off.
Yeah, turn the lights off. Yeah.
There's various styles.
So it's like Candyman?
Yeah, pretty much. You got to scream in the mirror, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Oh, I didn't scream it. That's
then you didn't do it right.
No, I didn't.
You know what? We're doing this in an office on a Saturday, and like not a lot of people are here. We should come back tonight and play Bloody Mary.
There you go.
I'm so scared. Like I won't touch a Ouija board. I won't.
Me either.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom has a story, and this is my mom. I trust this woman. She's never lied to me.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of your mom as well. We correspond.
Yeah, exactly. This is how I'm here now. They're like, hey, can Jeremy come down and play, please?
Okay.
And she swears that she was messing around with a Ouija board, and she took her hand off the little triangle and it went off the board and was on the floor and continued to move. And I was like, as an adult, I was like 20 something. I was like, all right, that story, you have to level with me. Were you dead serious or were you just messing with me? She was like, I was dead serious. And I was like, okay.
Creepy, man.
Fair enough.
Now again, I'm the same guy that thought the Blair Witch was real for like 5 years.
Oh, isn't that horrible when you found that out? Oh, it's the worst.
If you want to see something cool, even better than the Blair Witch Project, the movie, is Sci-Fi Channel did a mockumentary, but they didn't say it was a fake documentary. They just did a documentary like it was real about the Blair Witch, and it aired on Sci-Fi 3 weeks before the movie came out, and this is before I knew that it was fake. So I watched that, and I'm like, I lived in Virginia. I'm like, holy that was in my backyard. That's creepy. And if you can see that, it's better than the movie.
Nice.
So
I'm checking back into the ball game.
I'm checking back in. Like I said, I'm this was definitely one where I was going to be listening, and because these experiences and stuff like that definitely intrigues me. Like the movies, you know, like
You're like, they're fictional, but there's the possibility of real life that intrigues you or something.
you know what it is. It's like, again, I hate to keep saying the same thing. Like good movies, like that, I can definitely watch ones that like thrillers. I like scary ones. I'm not a big slasher film guy. You know, like again, like these, like I actually didn't mind Paranormal Activity 2. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but like I never saw the first one, so when I saw the second one, it was kind of like me watching the first one. You know, so that type of stuff to where you have good talent in it, and it's creepy, and it seems to be the way of the way they're shooting stuff, because that's how that Apollo 18 or whatever thing is coming out too.
Apollo 18 is it looks like a typical horror movie from the standpoint of like, look, it's hard to maintain a good movie for 2 hours. That's a hallmark of a good movie, is that you can keep the audience engaged. Horror movies are usually really good for 45 minutes. Because you're building up suspense, you're building up the sense of terror. Once you have the reveal of this is the guy chasing you, this is what this actually looks like, this is the ghost we're dealing with, this is what the alien looks like, then it starts to just become derivative, and it's hard to keep it fresh, which is why you really love good horror movies like Poltergeist or like The Exorcist that really keep you engaged the whole time.
Well, that's why even the original...
I sound really smart right now.
You do. I was just going to say that.
I'm good at horror movies and Tetris are the only two things that I'm really knowledgeable.
But going to the point of there too is the fact that like the original, like let's say you take whether it be Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, the original one, like 84, I think it was.
Yeah. 81, I think, or 82.
In the 80s, early 80s.
A good Van Halen song came out the year it was made.
Very nice. So, like, even when you had Freddy back then, it wasn't like this kind of cartoon character. It was like this menacing, monster guy, whatever. So it was like when you're watching, you're creeped out, and it was the way because it was shot so cheap back then that added to how creepy it was. Now when they do like the remakes and everything too, it's stylized, and
I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's lost its luster.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because you watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's genuinely terrifying in parts. But then
he stretches his arms out and he's rubbing his nails down it's crazy.
And if you have so many movies, like by Freddy 6, it was Freddy doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah,
it was like a weekend at Yuck Yucks.
It's because he said "Welcome to Prime Time, bitch," and they're like, "Hey, that was fun." And
sweet, fresh meat.
He's got the video game glove, like the power glove, and he says, "Now I'm playing with power."
I gotta say that was the best use of the power glove ever, including when people tried to actually play the piece of shit. But yeah, I'll actually say, the whole Paranormal Activity thing is kind of the way that movies, scary movies are going. That's what creeps people out. I'll actually change my answer. The Paranormal Activity one, actually, it kept me thinking about it. Yeah. And I didn't think it did. I was like, all right, well, that was interesting. And I went home and I'm laying down and you're just there in your bed and the lights are off and you notice your closet's open. So you get up and you close it, which you normally wouldn't do. And you sit back down. You're like, oh yeah, that hallway door's open too. And so you get up and so the movie kept me thinking about it for a good night or two. And I'll say that movies don't genuinely do that.
The creepiest scene for me, I think, in a movie though, to this day, is that shot in the ring when she crawls out of the television.
See, that didn't faze me.
That got me. Yeah,
that's the one movie I was like, all right, that's creepy, man.
What about The Shining with the girls in the hallway?
Yeah, I was just going to ask Serena, what's like the creepiest movie or the creepiest scene in a movie?
Well, The Shining, I feel like there's a lot of creepy scenes in that movie, but I love that movie. I think that's an example of a really great movie done well, and it's creepy and it keeps you watching. You want to know what's going to happen,
and everybody's had that feeling.
I just have to go back to that because it just like scarred me. Can
you watch it now?
You were young.
I don't want to.
Right.
I just don't want to.
Are they remaking
I think you should face your
when the
fear.
guy picked his face off.
Yeah, and the worms in the chicken.
Yeah, the meat.
Yeah. And then the braces. I remember when I got braces, I was like, what if they just come out and attack my face like they did in that movie?
I think you should face your fear and watch Poltergeist now.
Which is the one with the clown?
Well, we can watch it together.
With
the lights on.
I scored a date with Cerina Vincent. That's on record. The clown that grabs the kid and pulls him under the bed. That's Poltergeist.
Oh, there's also, and then talking about another creepy movie, and I think it was more TV movie, but it was It. And the first half, the second half is abysmal.
The first half of it is good. It's like really a good movie about kids. It's kind of like Super 8, where we just watch this cool relationship with these kids, and then once you get into the clown killing people, it's like, come on.
That was Tim Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry was great. That clown is one of the, probably, if we do a top 10 list of scary clowns, he'd be the number one. I don't know who number two would be.
Every clown would be on that list.
That's true. A mime is a wonderful thing to waste.
John Wayne Gacy.
Clowns are terrifying.
Yeah.
They're just weird.
They are.
It's just weird.
How do they all get in that car?
You know what's funny is what scarred me with clowns wasn't something scary. It was that scene in the first Burton Batman where all the mimes start just Tommy gunning people, and because you see them like closing in, and I was like, I don't trust those things. And then all of a sudden the mimes, they're just doing their mime thing, and then you just whip out Tommy guns and start going, and I'm like, I don't like mimes at all.
It is a creepy thing. It's like, come on, you can talk.
once.
I know you can talk.
Yeah, don't mess with me.
You played a mime.
How did that go?
In the Fantastics, with the play, when I was like 12. It's a love story about two people that live on are their neighbors, and they're like in love over this wall. Am I right? Does anybody know this?
We believe you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then there's mimes, and I was one of them. And what sucks is that it was a musical. And
Was it fun?
I used to sing and do all that, and so I auditioned for this play, and and had to prepare all these songs and do all this stuff. This is when I was younger, and then I got the part. I was so excited, and then I got the part of the mime. Where I didn't say anything.
You're like, what a waste of my talent.
I had to wear like a little suit or something.
Yeah. How do you even show up for work? It's like, hey, thanks for singing. We want you to not talk at all on stage. That'd be great.
And can you form a wall with your hands?
Yeah. I don't really remember what my role was, other than I was the mime. I don't remember what I did.
Did you know that you wanted to? I mean, from that age, was like that one of the? Because I feel like there's a couple steps in between playing a mime and then starring in Cabin Fever. So
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Did you know that you wanted to be an actress from that point, or?
Well.
Is it just back up until,
My mom, I grew up in Vegas. My mom was a ballet teacher, like a dance teacher. And so we had a big, giant dance studio in the back of our house. And she taught, like, all the kids, like, every kid from Vegas, little girl, pretty much. It was a small town then. And so I kind of grew up dancing and performing and, like, in that, just doing that. And then from that, somehow I started singing, and then
you say like it's so easy. Like you hear me sing in the shower, it's not easy. It's tough.
and then with that, I started doing theater. I was part of this little theater ensemble called the Rainbow Company, and so I started acting on stage and doing plays and stuff. And then I started doing like local commercial things in Vegas, and so it all kind of just sort of fell together. But I definitely grew up like with an appreciation for the arts.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that I could ever, like, I thought that people in, on TV and in movies, like, lived on a different planet, and there was no ever way to get
break into it.
A lot of people would say that about Las Vegas too.
Right, yeah.
you know what's interesting about Vegas too is like I go there sometimes to work for a weekend, and that's another thing that really creeps me out is staying in hotel rooms now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you see, like, there's so many
The
people
germ
have stayed
factor,
in there.
or-
Not the germ factor. I've seen the 48 hours when they take the black light to the cover.
That
But
germ thing, though. Sorry, finish your thing, but I want to talk about the germs. That's creepy shit. What Jeremy was talking about.
well, Jeremy loves viruses, so he's into it.
But that's the stuff, though. That's the what's the new one? The
Contagion.
Contagion. My wife and I saw that, and she's like,
You saw Contagion?
No, the trailer.
Oh, I was going to say, thanks for the call.
The trailer. but she's like, she's always like, wash your hands, make sure you do this. Like, and I was like, come on, leave me alone. I don't wash my hands for everything. And now after that, I wash my hands.
I'm telling you.
It's crazy. Sorry, Mark. Your Vegas story.
Well, no, I just think hotel rooms creep me out because so many people have stayed there, and I'm the big people. If somebody died in this room, something like that, then I get really, I get a little creeped out by
I would
it.
haunt you.
And
I'd haunt you.
I
What
know
hotels are you staying in where you know that someone died in the room, though?
Well, you see
1408.
there's a great show. It's not Ghost Hunters, but it's something like it's on A&E, and it's called it's Ghost Tales, or like people telling their ghost experiences.
Oh, yeah.
And this one guy used to work in a hotel, and apparently back in the 20s, this guy threw himself out. It was staying in the room, and he just got so fed up with life, he threw himself out the window. And now people say that when you stay in that room, you can still see late at night. You can see the visage of a guy walking towards the window and looking out. And there's a hotel in Oklahoma City, okay? And I can't remember what, I think it was the Clippers were staying there playing the Oklahoma City Thunder.
That's scary all of itself.
And they got haunted. Like a number of players reported seeing shit in the hotel. And they lost the game. I mean, they lost the game because they were the Clippers. But they were playing the Thunder, and they lost because they got haunted the night before. So I don't like hotels.
Wow.
That's my big story.
I like hotels.
Well, you like The Shining.
Yeah, I like The Shining. I don't want a haunted hotel. But.
What would you rather experience in a hotel? Would you rather have the two girls with the elevator and the blood, or would you rather have the creepy old lady in the bathtub?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Either or.
Do I have to pick?
You got to pick one.
The old lady.
Wow.
That's so creepy. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take the bathroom is a guy's safe haven.
You know what?
I was just gonna say
that's a lie.
Yeah.
No, I lied. I think I'll take the girls. Yeah. Now that I think about it.
Because Cerina, if you get in an elevator and you get covered in blood, you're going to need to wash that blood off. And I'd rather not have a creepy old lady in the bath
bathtub.
when I'm
Right. You're right. Well, I just thought maybe never mind. I was going to make a bad
It's a rookie mistake. No.
Anyway.
Serena, there's no right answer.
Wait, I wanted to ask Serena a question. So for being, and for me, would you say you don't take offense to Scream Queen? Would you take offense to that?
No, not at all.
Because I don't know but as coming from a Scream Queen, who is your favorite Scream Queen of all time?
Oh, that's a good question.
That was also Christian's nickname in high school.
Scream Queen?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know if I have an answer for that.
I think the first one would probably be Janet Leigh, right? In Psycho.
I'd probably go Jamie Lee Curtis.
I was going to say Jamie Lee Curtis.
Who is the daughter of Janet Leigh, yeah.
Is the only... Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one, it would be Jamie Lee Curtis.
If I had to pick one, it would be Cerina Vincent.
Nice. Well played.
Jeremy.
He lands one hypothetical date with Serena, and now it's like they're in love.
Look at that.
When's your
that.
birthday?
May 8th.
Taurus?
Ooh, no. I saw the look in her face.
Yeah, what? Taurus is over bad table?
I just don't know that it'll be a match. But we'll see.
Well,
We make our own destiny.
It's
no fate but what you make for ourselves, John Connor.
Don't you hate when
No, now I need to know everybody's birthday because I know when's your
Yeah,
birthday.
I'm July 7th. I'm a Cancer.
Cancer.
Libra.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Ooh, okay. She likes Libras. All right.
I've known Christian for a long time. I didn't know he was Libra.
I know.
I said Cancer. He's a what are you?
Taurus.
Yeah, and apparently we just cockblocked ourselves with the month we were born.
No, we all get along great. This is perfect.
And you are?
Aquarius.
Which is what
Aquarius.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
song,
No,
Christian.
sorry.
This is the Scream thing.
I apologize.
Which is what?
What month is?
Which February.
Okay,
7th.
February. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well-
so that's why I was late today.
Yeah. So if you're going out if you're out with Serena, just know her birthday's right near Valentine's Day, so you can't.
It's a week away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like a 2-for-1. Get one gift to the holidays. Just saying.
Yeah.
Our Taurus is usually cheap.
Cheap?
Because apparently I am, because I just thought to myself, one gift, 2 days.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. I don't know. I don't have a ton of experience with Taurus.
See.
Yeah.
It's time for you to
So-
learn.
You gotta try new things.
It is
Are you
important.
tactile? Do you like nice things and touch? Is that part of something that
Everyone likes nice things to touch.
That's right.
That's like
that's a Taurus trait, I think.
really? Okay, really? Like, what do you mean, like nice things and touch?
When we come back on the Schmoes podcast, we're gonna have Jeremy's fortune read.
See, what do you mean?
Yeah, I see a dance studio in Las Vegas in your future.
Would you say that is? Would you describe that about yourself?
Well,
That you
like,
the
I like
feel of,
nice clothes.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
sure. And like touch is in like you meet someone you hug them or stuff like that. Oh yeah, I'm a very huggy person. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Serena, let me tell you how much Jeremy likes nice clothes. He's staying at my place when he's in town this weekend because again he's a Taurus and he's too cheap to get a hotel.
That's it right there.
Now Tauruses are cheap. This is funny.
I mean, I'll stay in the hotel if you want me to.
I'm a single guy. It's a bachelor pad kind of thing. I have 9 different kinds of mustard and beer in my fridge, and maybe a jar of pickles on a good week. And Jeremy's, he's fine. Everything's cool. He's got an inflated bed. But then he asked me, "Hey, I need to iron a shirt."
Oh, totally. I was right.
And Mark Ellis does not own an iron. So this is what I told him. I told him you go to you what you do is when you take a shower, you close
actually
all the
said
windows,
this, too.
you turn on the you get a hot shower and you put the shirt in there, and it's the white trash dry cleaners.
Yep, I do it too.
I
don't iron. I'll do it. I'll do anything in the entire world. Like cook
iron?
and clean and whatever you want. I don't iron.
Yeah, he came over.
just
You talk about
prickles me even more.
scary moments. He came over to my place. And he's like, "Do you have an iron?" I'm like, "I know it's here somewhere."
Yeah, I was like, "Does Christian have an iron?"
Yeah, and my wife had put it somewhere, and I'm like, "All right, And it started I started being scared. I'm like, "What if I lost it and didn't realize it?" And then I got to deal with it. Where's the iron?
Well, I'm not high maintenance. I wouldn't have been like,
No, not you. I'm talking about my wife.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure.
Your wife is gorgeous.
Thank you.
She's pretty hot, huh?
Oh yeah.
He says that. He's like, I get to go over there and look at her sometimes.
Why do you think I do reviews with you? I hang out with you? No, your wife's hot,
When's her
man.
birthday?
Her birthday is September.
September what?
It's early. I don't want to give it away. I know it. I don't want to give it away.
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay.
It's early.
All right.
It's
early
You're
fall.
protecting your
Yes.
family. I like that.
Yeah, we don't talk about her much on the.
He doesn't want his other wives to get jealous.
Because I had one of our someone who watches the
Crazy
videos.
fans. I get it.
Someone who watches the videos told me what I should name my daughter, and I said, "That's it. You're deleted."
Yeah.
So
don't get too personal on these
That
things.
may or may not have been
That creeps
me,
people
and I
out.
may or may not have said you got to name your daughter She-Ra, and then Christian didn't talk to me. for like a
I
week,
don't.
so.
Yeah, like I don't mind. I don't mind if you want to talk about. Tell me that I'm a puss for not watching certain scary movies, and this is the reason why. And Final Destination 5 was great, and here's the reason why. That I love. I love conversations, but stay away from my this stuff.
Let me ask you this, Cerina. So you're in a number of these movies now. Do you have crazy fan? Like, do you have people that kind of creep you out?
Do I?
How
much time do we have?
Yeah, has reality become more than like? Would you rather actually be your character in Cabin Fever than in real life with these idiots sometimes?
Well, okay, that's interesting. Well, I also do a lot of other things besides horror and thrillers and things, but
such as
comedies and the stuff like that.
I know, yeah,
right? But there are times where you go in and you do where you make appearances at like horror conventions or things, and so you get to meet your fans, and it's a really interesting interaction because you're grateful. Like if you don't have, if there's not fans watching what you're doing and like caring about you as an actress, then nobody cares to put you in movies. So
but they get a little creepy sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
but
there's
Cerina,
people that they just ask like some people ask the most insane questions ever.
You know what it is though too is what you said before before you were an actress and you're like, well, it seemed like these people on another planet. Like I think that's the mentality sometimes from a lot of these people. They don't realize real people.
Yeah,
so
you don't.
it's like you wouldn't say it to someone at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Why would you say it to someone?
I've actually had to say that to people. I'm like, you're crossing a line here. Like I'm a real person. That totally hurt my feelings, and I'm super sensitive. Most people are really nice, but some people cross the line in like different ways. But recently, I don't know why I was on it was on my own IMDb page, and I was looking at something, and then I clicked on the message board, and I just saw this line that said she should be living in a dumpster behind a strip club. And so I was like, what? And so I clicked on it, and it was like this whole like blog about how just what trash I am, and all my movies suck, and I suck, and it just like it was so critical, and it ripped me apart. It just they talked about everything, and
wow,
I was having a bad day and it hurt my feelings. And then my brother called me.
It wasn't that same day at the hospital.
No, it wasn't. It was a different day.
that is a weird day.
And my brother happened to call me at the time. He's like, "What's the matter?" I was like, "I don't know. I just read this thing where some person thinks I should be living in a dumpster behind a strip club," and he went on there and like attack them for me.
That's nice to have a brother.
Oh yeah.
But that's the thing. Is what I don't understand is that people are behind the computer and stuff too. People get mean for for some just to do it, and they feel that they can. But there's also film fans, and there's people who legitimately are out there who want to talk to you about things and are excited to see it.
That's fun,
right? Yeah. And it's just and then we get the same thing now too. Like you'll get that person, and I know Jeremy gets it a lot too. You get the people who just kind of throw some random mean stuff out there, and then you ignore it. But for every crazy fan, there's like 5 or 6 like really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
People. Yeah, the vast majority of fans. It's that old comedy club thing when you're on stage and you can make if 300 people are in the crowd, you can make 299 of them just scream with laughter, and there's that one guy that just is mean mugging you, and that's the guy you think about.
Himself.
Yeah, and that's the guy you
right.
can't go to sleep because of that guy, and because you're in a hotel that's haunted.
Way to bring it all together.
Well played.
I know how to button a conversation.
LC. Okay, so let's get back to the horror stuff. Mark, there are a couple of horror films coming out, and the October season is definitely the season where these really come out.
Which I like. It's almost like the Halloween time frame.
Yeah.
Like that week is almost like a mini summer for horror movies.
Right, and Jeremy said this yesterday. We were in a car, and which I agree with him as far as like Fright Night just came out, the remake, and the numbers aren't in yet, so I don't know how it's done. But I'm curious. Jeremy had brought up this point why it wasn't brought up in the Halloween season.
Oh yeah, well, I think I may have said this in my video. Also, I think I did. It comes out in August, right? It's really good. Like I like Fright Night. You should watch Fright Night. It's one of
Fun movie.
Yeah, it's one of the better vampire movies that's come out recently. But you would you're watching it, you're like, this is a total Halloween movie. But it can't come out on Halloween because Paranormal Activity comes out on Halloween. It's like, before Paranormal it was Saw, and those things dominated. Nothing can go up against it. Then Paranormal comes out, so 3's coming out this Halloween, so nothing can go up against that. So it has to come out before Halloween. So you would think to yourself, all right, it should come out in May or June, so it can be out on Blu-ray by the time Halloween comes out, and that would make sense. But it can't do that because it'll just totally get crushed by the summer movies. Right. So it has to come out in August, where it feels absolutely out of season, and
I'm wondering what the numbers are going to be like that for.
It's like you're trying to get a timeshare in Aspen, but it's like really cheap. It's like, look, the only time we can go is in July. There's not going to be any snow.
Yeah, August.
Well, so the movies that are coming out, the horror films that are coming out past August in September, October, is there anything in particular that everybody in this room is really looking forward to and wants to see the most?
Well, I got to say, I'm a big fan of the Paranormal Activity franchise. I think it's such a cool and inventive concept because not only is it's genuinely scary and it's a scary subject, but also it's kind of inspiring because with the 3 cell phones we have here, we could probably make the movie, And I'm interested to see because it does tie in with the same storyline that we've had for the first 2 movies and the whole Bloody Mary thing. I don't know where they're going to go after this. Paranormal Activity 4 is probably going to have the Leprechaun in 3D, but I'm excited about this one.
Or they're playing Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board.
What's that? Oh, you're right. Oh, so yeah, we didn't get into that.
We should play this. I feel like.
Wait.
What is Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board?
You don't know?
No.
Okay. One person lies down, like on the ground, flat like this, like you're with your arms by your sides, and everybody else gets around them, and you put 2 fingers underneath their body, and you say, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, and you lift them up, and then they lift.
It's actually...
Do they actually lift?
Yes, they do, and I actually did play this recently. I was shown by a few people this summer.
You're such a 16-year-old
Why don't I get the phone call for this, man?
Because
you call me, oh, hey, we got to review Superman pictures that just came out.
Because it was a respectable environment.
You're playing light as a feather, huh?
Exactly. But yeah, it's pretty crazy that...
You actually lift.
You really do. I swear to God.
I know what we're doing when this is
I
done.
swear.
You don't necessarily levitate.
It's not levitate. They lift you up. It's like these girls. It was like 4 girls, and they couldn't get me off the ground in the beginning. Then they did this silly chant, and I literally went up like that.
That is not right. No, I do not believe that.
I promise you. I promise.
We can play it.
Yeah, we have to.
I'm
That's
in.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm in. I'll play it right now, man.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do it right now, but
We don't have enough hands on deck.
But I know that it's definitely it's, and I wouldn't have believed it had I not done it this summer. But it's
I am skeptical.
It's true. I know. I understand. I was too.
Tauruses are always skeptical.
Yeah, and cheap. All right, you skeptical cheapo. How about you?
I got that.
What?
So you're paranormal.
I think Paranormal 3 is the only Halloween movie I know that's coming out.
What about the Apollo 18?
No. Paranormal 3. For some reason, I saw Apollo 18. I was like, no, it didn't grab me. It just looked like they're like, oh, Paranormal Activity is cool. Let's have it on the moon with a little creature that looks like the alien hugger in a helmet.
Yeah.
It's really hard to make good horror movies on the moon for some reason.
Yeah.
Like Freddy went to the moon. I'm sorry, Jason went to the moon and that didn't work. The Leprechaun went to the moon. That didn't work. So maybe it'll work for this one. I don't know.
Just keep them out of space.
I mean, yeah, it takes place in an Apollo craft. That's not a lot of space. And so Paranormal Activity 3, I'm looking forward to for all the reasons you just said.
Is that the one you're looking forward to? Too? Okay. Well, so that seems to be the one. I mean, the thing's going to make a shitload of cash.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's probably the only thing coming out that weekend.
Yeah, because Fright Night didn't. So.
That's right. So, okay, well.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
What's that?
Some questions from our fans.
That's right. I think we're going to hit the blog TV now.
Get ready for
tell us if you've played Light as a Feather and if it actually happens.
Or haunting things. Like, what's your paranormal? Well, you can't write a sentence, I imagine, but a paragraph.
All right, it's question time. All right.
Give us some good questions, guys.
I'm looking. Cerina, your favorite swashbuckler?
What?
Of all time, it's like Robin Hood, Zorro. It's not a horror question, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. They want to ask Cerina questions.
I don't know what that. Wait.
Swashbuckler, like a
pirate, like a bravado kind of
Zorro, maybe, or or Jack Sparrow.
You can't say Jack Sparrow. Every woman says Jack Sparrow.
I can't say Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I said that. Because that was your go-to person, wasn't it? Yeah.
I would say Indiana Jones is kind of a swashbuckler.
Well, that counts.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if
Oh my God, I loved
Indiana
him.
Jones is a lot.
I think every woman
I have
did.
your answer.
You have my answer for me?
I have your answer.
Yeah.
The Dread Pirate Roberts from Princess Bride.
You do have my answer.
I got it.
How did you know?
Because the ghost is in the room and told me.
Sorry, was that loud?
No.
No, that was great.
I wanted it to be Buttercup.
Jeremy just got so jealous. He was working on this thing for the entire hour.
I got sniped just now, Dread Pirate bastard.
Oh, I love him.
I had one here too. Hold on, Cerina. What was the most fun you had making a movie? Like, what was the funnest? Sure. Well, what was the most fun you've had on a movie?
Most fun. What movie was the most fun?
Like a moment, or just you had the most fun making.
I would say that Cabin Fever was really, really fun. I have fun. You know, I could more easily say what movies I didn't have fun on.
Actually,
but I'm not going to. But I had fun. I did this romantic comedy called Everybody Wants to Be Italian, and that was fun because it was my first romantic comedy. And I think I'm funny, and I think that I want to do more funny stuff.
She's like, I'm hilarious.
That was
damn it.
fun. And the new film that I just did with Stephen Monroe, Monica. It was called Hole in the Desert, but now it's called Monica.
Yeah, it has like a Crow feel to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. It does. And it's an action revenge thriller, and I get to shoot a lot of guns, and I went through all this crazy gun training, and it's cool.
Talk about fun on a set. Shooting guns has probably got to be up there.
All right, I have one from Fury the Film Fan,
Okay.
who always asks good questions.
Our bouncer.
Cerina, if you had a flesh-eating virus, how would you spend your last day?
Ooh.
In a bathtub.
But not in the bathtub with the creepy old woman from The Shining.
She's going to become the bathtub ghost.
No.
That's right.
No, for reals, how would I spend my last day?
Yeah. I like the bathtub, man.
I would
pamper yourself.
I would drink a lot of wine.
Good play.
I'd have a big party with all my friends and family. I'd drink a lot of wine. I'd probably go to like yoga or something.
Snap.
That would be a great Facebook blast to get, hey, Serena's skin is falling off party. You know, you seriously get here by 7.
Yoga and wine.
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Dara. Cerina, what's your favorite accent? Whether it be to do, I'm going to elaborate on the question. Whether it be, the first part is to do, and the second one is to hear.
You can't say Jack Sparrow.
But you can say Mark Ellis's silky radio voice.
Well, let's see. In Not Another Teen Movie, I did 5 different accents.
Wow.
So that was fun. I liked them all. I especially liked the Indian guy that they did, or woman. To hear.
Yeah.
I mean, Italian. I am Italian,
but like a well-adjusted Italian, not like the situation, like a real.
No, not the situation.
He's not Italian.
A beautiful woman from Italy.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Ellis and I, how you?
I'm representing today with my Italian.
Yeah.
I'll ask this question for Mr. T.J. White: Ellis or Jeremy?
Ooh, man. Putting Cerina on the spot.
Wait! I missed something. What's going on?
They asked who. The question was
Ellis or Jeremy.
Yeah, I guess we can't elaborate.
Me
on
or
it.
Jeremy. We don't know what the context is, but you got to pick one.
Is that like? Have you ever played that game?
Would you rather?
Fuck, marry, kill. F, marry, kill.
Wow,
you can say English.
I think
that's a good one. So
fuck, marry, kill.
I'm not going to play that game right now.
Oh, okay.
No, there's just no way that's going to go well.
Other than the fact that I think we have pretty thick skins and no one's going to get offended, that's just messed up.
Yeah.
Putting people on the spot.
Well, and again, Serena's got to choose between a Taurus and a Cancer, so it's pretty much the bottom of the astrological barrel.
She seems to really read into this stuff. It's all about the horoscope at this point.
Oh, it totally is. I'm so into this, yeah.
Alan Gunn 97 asks, and we didn't even really talk about this in the podcast, favorite vampire movie? Because vampires can be seen as creepy.
Oh.
Yeah, but they're charming.
Vampires can be seen? No, they are creepy.
You know what? What is it? Interview with the Vampire. I just love that movie. I loved that movie.
It's a creepy one.
That's legit.
Nosferatu.
Creepiest vampire movie of all time, man. That's a good one. Maybe Dracula.
Don't say 2000 and you're getting
Is there
punched.
what else is on
No, yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula was pretty tough
that's
to
a
beat.
good one.
Let's see.
Because it's just terrifying how they cast Keanu Reeves in that movie.
All right, so this is for all of us. Stephen H. Reviews asks, Freddy, Jason, or Michael Myers?
Ooh.
I'll go first, and I will say Freddy Krueger for the win. Not only can he kill teenagers, but he's hilarious when he does it.
Yeah, I'm a Freddy fan too.
Freddy. Personality plus, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have to go with you on that.
No, you don't.
Freddie. No, that's how I feel.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just never really got to know Michael Myers or Jason that much.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
just kind of walk around with masks.
Yeah, you feel bad for Jason because he drowned at the camp, but it's like, eventually, it's like, dude, get over it.
Alex Tenor 773. Jeremy, do you still hate trick-or-treaters?
You hate trick-or-treaters?
I don't hate trick-or-treaters. I just came up with one. Actually, it was my first video on when I changed over to Jeremy Jahns' channel. I did a bit on how you can just totally weasel your way out of giving trick-or-treaters candy, and just put an empty bowl on the porch that says "Take one, please." And so,
it's gone.
and then anyone comes up and they're like, "Oh, someone took it all," and you're like, "Yep, I'm relaxing."
That's great. You got to time it right.
This was part of this cheap tourist thing.
It absolutely is. But I would say I would still do that trick to this day. If that's
See,
what
I
you're
like going
asking.
creepy with it. I like saying, well, kids, I don't have any more candy, but I'd be happy to make you a turkey sandwich.
I know, yeah. Just be like, "Hey, you can come on inside. I have a bike."
But
in
your
the
parents
garage."
can't come.
I used to make turkey sandwiches for the homeless man that lived behind my apartment. I used to make him breakfast every day.
It's like the nicest
Is
thing
he
ever.
still there?
No,
Did the turkey get him back on his feet?
I moved, and I think about him all the time.
Yeah. Trust me, he thinks about you.
No, he was.
Where's that hot girl with the turkey sandwiches? Where'd she go?
Life
Or
is
bagel,
awesome.
or
Yeah.
orange
And
juice.
also, I'd like some meth.
No, he was not. He wasn't. He was.
If you're listening out there, homeless guy, we know you're not a meth head.
Right.
You just love some tryptophan.
Now I'm going to do something that probably you would not expect me to do. I'm going to read a question from somebody.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
This is from Far Cry 21. Psycho or Rear Window?
Good question.
It was actually well done, Mr. Far Cry.
Yeah.
Well done.
Bravo.
Which movie do you prefer, Psycho or Rear Window?
And this is for the.
This is for all of us.
For the
For
table.
all of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to say Rear Window because it's a great concept and it's really cool, but I'm sorry, man. Psycho.
It's really, I mean, that movie is really well done in the fact that he doesn't have to do shit except just film stuff. He didn't have to show a lot of stuff. It was like really good filmmaking.
And it was back when you could still use Hershey's chocolate syrup as blood.
Yeah,
It's
I'm going
true.
Psycho.
Yeah, a Psycho.
I'd
But that's
say-
a hard decision. I feel
Yeah,
like it's a hard decision. Good question.
Yeah, because they're both iconic movies. I'd say Rear Window, actually.
Yeah.
I'm the one.
Yeah, I'm actually. I mean, I don't like staying in hotels, as I pointed out, but I will not stay. I will not stay unless it's a corporate hotel, like a Holiday Inn or something like that. I'm happy to stay. One time I was on the road and I stayed at a place in Illinois called. It was like Camp something. It almost sounded like Camp Crystal Lake Inn, and I stayed there, and it was the scary. It was
That'll
a creepy,
do
and I'm
it.
like, I'm never staying in one of these places again.
Norman Bates, Vince Vaughn, or Perkins?
Perkins.
Yeah.
All right. One last question. So, okay. This is from Gilstrap Studios AST. What was your first movie at a movie theater?
Oh, that's such a good question.
That is a good one.
I have no idea. I mean, I'm guessing it was like Snow White or something like
really?
that.
First movie at a movie theater that you saw was Snow White.
I don't
That's-
remember.
Yeah, I think mine was actually I was 6 weeks old when I saw The Empire Strikes Back. It was playing a couple years after it came out.
he
on
remembers
Air
it.
Force Base.
I will say that one of the first movies I remember horror movies, which I feel like fits into the horror movie category, that I remember watching with my dad, again, way too young. It was like this moment. He was like, "You need to see this movie." And so we crawled into his bed and put the movie on, and it was Soylent Green.
Wow.
I just got hungry.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was
trying to
creepy.
remember. I think Fox and the Hound, maybe.
Nice, Jeremy. First movie ever saw in the theater.
I actually think it might be E.T.
That's a
good.
no wonder you love
Yeah.
movies.
I think we just answered the Johns versus Ellis question right there.
Yeah, I know
I feel like
exactly.
I got my points back from Christian.
Okay, so I wanted to do a couple of things here before we wrap out. The first to be thank you, Cerina Vincent, so much for coming and joining us. It was very nice to see you again.
Thank you,
Seeing
And when you come back, we're gonna play Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board, and also if any of us has a paranormal experience since this podcast, we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Okay,
Got
wait.
it.
Can I say something?
You can plug the hell out of something.
Yeah, I want
plug away.
go on to. I also write books that I'm really with my girlfriend Jody Lipper, and so go to Hot Chick book series on Facebook and be our friend and get our Hot Chick tip of the day.
Where do they go? Where on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you can get our hot chick tip of the day. It's little everyday inspirational, ridiculous things that we write. And we're writing a new book, and we want to like pull people and really go deeper into what we're doing. So go on, like us on there.
And can you give them the trailer again for the new movie?
Oh, it's on dreadcentral.com right now, and it's called Monica. Directed by Stephen R. Monroe. Jason Wells is in it.
Very cool.
C. Thomas Howell.
Cool. And as we wrap up this podcast, what is your hot chick tip of today?
On the spot.
We don't do it on the weekends, but yesterday's
Welcome back to another episode of On the Spot.
but yesterday's is ridiculous. It's the I forget what word for word I did, but the idea, the thought of if men are subconsciously more attracted and appealing, or if you're more appealing and attractive to men while you're ovulating, then maybe you should schedule job interviews around that time as well.
Okay, so for all you males out there, if you're ovulating, it is time to get into that job interview.
That's right.
That was yesterday.
I think that's why I haven't been employed in such a long time. I haven't been ovulating in like forever.
I think that's very good advice in this recession. I think it's helped a lot of people.
I did.
Anything
And you know
to
what?
get a
I
leg
got a
up.
really great response. People were like, oh yeah, I totally
It's a
do.
good one.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, guys. So make sure you check out all of Cerina's stuff, and we hope to have you back again. As always, you are a very fun guest and very lovely, of course. Thank you.
I
for
would
joining
love to
us.
come back.
Please
Thank
do.
you for having me.
Okay. So, and guys, I wanted to thank everyone on Block TV for checking us out today. Make sure that you check out Jeremy Jahns. You can go to JeremyJahns, JAHNS.com. You can also see him on YouTube.com/Jeremy Jahns. Of course, you can check us out at YouTube.com/SchmoesKnow, SchmoesKnow.com. We do the Facebook, we do the Twitter. We're out.
That's a lot of play.
Oh wait, do we have done?
Yeah. You want to do one more?
Yeah, and then go onto Facebook and at my Facebook fan page, Cerina Vincent. It's a picture of me. It's black and white in New York. That's the real me fan page. And then I have a bowling for...
Not anymore. Somebody just made a new one with that picture.
Right. I'm bowling for boobies in October, so you can donate for breast cancer.
That's
me and a bunch of other horror starlets. So we have a horror starlet bowling team.
Love it.
Bowling for boobies. That's like my perfect night out.
Right?
Al Bundy will be there too.
Yeah, if there's nachos involved, then that's like the best thing ever.
So again, thank you very much, and of course, we'd like to thank our producer Katie. Otherwise, this thing will be run right into the ground. And we thank her for being here. And she will not be playing stiff as a board later. She scares her too much.
Thanks for listening, kids.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.